Bitcoin so far has seen the bounce that we have been expecting, but right now Bitcoin is definitely not out of the woods yet. Guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about what I'm expecting in the price of Bitcoin in the immediate short-term time frame, but also what we can expect with Bitcoin in general, which levels that I'm watching, and what I think is going to happen with the altcoin space right now. Is it smart to transfer your altcoins back into Bitcoin, or should you look for altcoin positions, or should you hold your altcoin positions? I'm going to give my opinion on that, guys. And I also want to have a quick talk about Bitcoin being in a bull or in a bear market, because right now I have the feeling that there is a lot of confusion about that as well. So guys, all about that in today's video. With that being said, my name is Jeroen. Welcome to the Blockchain Today, the channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos. Right now let's jump into the Bitcoin price action. But before we are zooming in on the Bitcoin price, guys, let's take with every single one of us 1 single minute. Scroll below this video and hit the thumbs up button. Guys, that is very much appreciated. If you haven't been subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now let's jump into the Bitcoin price action. Well, so far, guys, we have seen a nice bounce in the Bitcoin price. We actually saw quite a nice bounce from the declining support right here till the resistance, which was a bounce of over 20%. And as you can see right now, it looks like Bitcoin is trading in a declining channel. We had that declining resistance, which was still valid from the former triangle formation we were in, which we could draw something like that. But yeah, as you can see, Bitcoin couldn't manage to break that declining resistance, which means that there is still a level above us which we have to watch, and which is one of the first levels for Bitcoin right now to break in order to get a more bullish structure in the immediate short-term time frame. One very bullish sign that we are seeing right now, guys, is that we are seeing that bullish divergence on the daily time frame. We've set a higher low in the RSI while we're setting a lower low in the price. That is a very, very bullish sign, guys, if this signal is not getting invalidated, because previous times it doesn't matter when Bitcoin was in a bull market or in a bear market. We have seen significant bounces after we've set that bullish divergences on the daily time frame. So we had some examples in a bear market. After a bullish divergence, we made a rally of 50%. And in a bull market, most of the time, it was the start of a major rally for a continuation in this bull market. So this signal I interpret as a very bullish sign. The funding rates have been negative over the past time, so that is also a bullish signal. Right now or recently, funding rates has been turned to normal again. So yeah, we are seeing that the sentiment is changing right now in the space as well. The over majority is not bearish anymore, but we are seeing some change in that. But right now, guys, like I said, I think if we have a look at the structure of Bitcoin, then we are trading in this declining channel. And I think we should expect Bitcoin to come down right here until we are breaking that declining resistance and really see a change in market structure. I have also been talking about the following signal, which is the Wyckoff accumulation phase, right? And let's go to the 4-hour time frame. It's a little bit better visible right there. And here we can see that so far Bitcoin is actually following this Wyckoff accumulation scheme quite good. And this is just it might not be that we are seeing exactly the Wyckoff accumulation phase going on, but it might be a scenario which can help us to check what we can expect with the price of Bitcoin in the near future. So I haven't changed this chart, guys, but of course this is just a general idea of what the price can do in the coming phases. So that doesn't mean that price has to follow these lines exactly, but that we are seeing roughly something going on like this. And right now it's actually quite interesting, because we had that last drop in the price of Bitcoin. We got that quick recovery where I actually said that we really need that for Bitcoin in order to turn bullish. We really need to get that buy wick, and we did get that buy wick, and that is quite nice, guys. So right now I do expect Bitcoin to continue to consolidate within this sideways range or within this declining channel. Let me draw the declining channel for you guys so it's a little bit more clear. We have actually a very clear resistance right here, which is also a very clear support, but we also have a horizontal zone where we are trading in, and just in general, this is a range where Bitcoin is trading in, and as long as we are trading within that range or within this declining channel, we don't really have a bullish breakout yet. We got a nice bounce so far, we got a awesome bounce, but we're still trading in the same price structure. So for a bullish continuation, or to see more evidence that this bounce is transitioning into a uptrend, we want to see Bitcoin sooner or later break this bounce or break this declining resistance right here and break out of this horizontal zone, and yeah, really entering this uptrend again. And I think the major resistance right now is the declining resistance of this declining channel, which is right now at approximately slightly above 38,000 US dollars. That would be the first level that I'm watching to the upside. Afterwards, after we break the 38,000 or slightly above 38,000, I think the next major level, which is going to be a very, very important level, is going to be the high right here, which will be at approximately, give or take, 42,000 US dollars. If we can break 42,000 US dollars, flip this level into support, then that would be a very bullish sign. But right now we have to respect the price structure Bitcoin is trading in, and we are still trading in this declining channel. So I expect Bitcoin to come down right here, maybe test a new support, set a higher low somewhere right here, and yeah, maybe show some strength from that, and then we can continue this uptrend. But like I said in my previous video as well, guys, we potentially seeing that bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Doesn't mean that we are seeing a direct pump in the Bitcoin price. Let me show you quickly what I mean. It can take some time for can take some time for that bullish divergence to really play out in the Bitcoin price. So guys, let me show you one example right here, and that is this example where we have this drop in the Bitcoin price. This is a bullish divergence. We set a lower low in the price, high low in the RSI. Then we got this nice pump in the Bitcoin price, but it actually took about 2 weeks until we really saw that bullish divergence being expressed in the price of Bitcoin. So if we would draw that right here, then we could see something like this. So guys, that could be looking something like this, where we are setting that lower low, that bullish divergence, and eventually, Bitcoin continues to consolidate, momentum is building up, we are setting that higher low, and eventually we break out of this this structure. This is actually corresponding with the 42,000 level. We break above it, backtest it as support, and continue this uptrend. That would be very, very bullish. And guys, then I want to have a talk about some different stuff. First of all, I want to show you one chart. That is the S&P 500. And the reason I want to mention is because the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are actually highly correlated. And I've been mentioning the S&P 500 quite often in my previous videos. Right now, guys, there's a lot of strength in the regular financial markets. There's a lot of strength in the S&P 500. And anybody who's interested in longing or shorting the S&P 500 using Bitcoin, you can do that over on the Prime XBT platform. I have my affiliate link down below where you can get like an extra bonus if you sign up using my affiliate link. Do take in mind, guys, this is only for experienced traders. But the reason that the S&P 500 is looking so bullish is the reason for me that I'm as well going to be bullish on Bitcoin, because I expect Bitcoin to enter a bear market, or to get a lot of damage, actually, so to say, is when we are seeing that panic coming in the S&P 500, when we would break back into this uprising channel, which is a very long-term rising channel. And historically, we have seen that the moment we are breaking out of these rising channels to the upside, we are entering a acceleration period where we are seeing a nice, and this is a nice backtest, right, former resistance turning into support, and where we eventually can accelerate this uptrend and going towards a blow-off top event, which might occur this year. I think there is a likelihood it will occur this year. Can also be that it will occur next year, but we are getting closer to it. We are going towards that acceleration period in the S&P 500, where we are going to see increased amounts of volatility, which eventually will lead to a blow-off top, which right now in the coming period is actually very bullish, because that means we could be seeing a acceleration right here to the upside. We have seen that quite often in the past. Maybe I can show you guys a quick example what I mean right here. So let's go to 2000. This is 2008. We also had a uprising channel. We broke the uprising channel, back tested it, then we got this increased volatility. Eventually we had this blow off top. The moment we broke back into this rising channel, that was the moment we all had to become bearish again. So that's also something that I'm watching in the S&P 500 right now. But so far, the coming periods is still looking bullish. So this is one of the charts that is showing me that we can have also some confidence in the price of Bitcoin, because it would be a weird situation when Bitcoin enters a multi-year long bear market, but the stock markets just continue to go up. Well, in general, in my opinion, guys, I do think that the reasons why people, investors, traders are right now buying into the regular financial markets or buying into Bitcoin, the majority does it with the same reason, which is an escape of fiat currencies, an escape of the printing of the dollar, right? And of course, we have more fundamentals in Bitcoin. We are in Bitcoin because of the fundamentals, but the majority of the people out there might not be in Bitcoin because of the fundamentals. The majority of the money is going into Bitcoin due to the fact that it is an escape for fiat currency. So that's why I think the reasons of the majority of the reasons of the investors of the regular financial markets and Bitcoin right now is the same. The incentive is the same. That's why I think it would be weird if we would see a decoupling, Bitcoin going into a bear market and the S&P 500 entering its blow off top phase. I would think personally that is an unlikely scenario. Then, guys, another bullish sign I want to point out, and that is this article. JP Morgan points to weak Bitcoin futures as a signal for a Bitcoin bear market. So right now, guys, we have seen that JP Morgan have been accumulating quite some Bitcoin and has been positive about Bitcoin in the past months, and now suddenly JP Morgan points to a weak Bitcoin futures as signal for a bear market. And I personally think that this is a typical FOD article where like a huge institution like JP Morgan is trying to spread FOD, which is actually not that the arguments they use to spread this FOD is actually not that good, because they just use the signal that the Bitcoin futures price is slightly below the spot price of Bitcoin. And the last time we have seen that was in 2018 when we have seen that bear market. But I don't think you can use just a single indicator like that and just say like we are going to that we are seeing the signal for a bear market. I don't think that is the right conclusion to draw after such a signal, and that's the reason why I think that this is a FOD article. And JP Morgan is well known, guys, to give wrong advice out there, to very often wrong in the news. So for example, when JP Morgan has been very bearish on certain assets, including Bitcoin in the past, right, has been wrong a lot of times. And when JP Morgan was bullish on certain assets, has been wrong many times as well. Some argue that they do it on purpose to spread FOD or FOMO. So guys, I personally think that this is a bullish sign. JP Morgan has been known as a very wrong advice giver, and normally I would say that most of the time they will just say things that will do them good, that will serve them and not serve the public. So that's why I think this is actually a bullish sign. But then it brings me to the next topic, which is what is a bear market, what is a bull market, what is going on with Bitcoin, because we have seen quite a big of a drop in Bitcoin. Is it possible that we've entered a bear market? And guys, how positive I am on Bitcoin always. Yes, it is possible that we've entered a bear market, but it also really starts with how do you define a bear market? Because some argue that a bear market might be a market where we have like a multi-month downtrend. Some argue that a bear market is a multi-year downtrend. So if we go, for example, to the weekly time frame right here in Bitcoin, and we go to 2013, and we don't have that even. Oh yeah, we have that right here. So would you argue that this correction would be a bear market and then we have another bull market? Well, in my personal opinion right here, guys, from my personal perspective, I wouldn't call this a bear market. This is still on the weekly time frame a higher low. In my case, in my opinion, this is still a uptrend. So yeah, I don't see this as a bear market, but yeah, we could see multi-months Bitcoin's price coming down. That's definitely possible. However, I wouldn't call that a bear market. This I would call a bear market. This is a structured downtrend on the weekly time frame. where we are setting lower lows and lower highs. And of course, right here we had a bear market, also a structured downtrend on the weekly time frame. Right here, I would argue if this is a bear market or not. You can call it a consolidation period with a huge fake out. You can call it a bear market as well. I would definitely understand that. But eventually, in the grand scheme of things, we can still see that Bitcoin is in this nice uptrend. So guys, right now the most important question for me to argue whether we are in a bear market or in a bull market is, are we going to get that structured downtrend? So if Bitcoin were to come up right here, see a nice breakout, get a nice bounce, break above the $42,000 level and so on, then I would say, like, if we were going to test some very important key moving averages, so for example the 20-week moving average right here, the orange line, which right now is at approximately 48,000. This is a dynamic level, so when the weeks pass by, this level might come down slightly right here. If we were to get rejected at this level, guys, then that would be a bearish sign and could be showing us that we are going to see a structured downtrend. Might see multi-month structured downtrend, which in essence you could call a bear market. That is definitely possible. So in that way, I could agree that this might be this might be a bearish sign and could signal us for further downside price action. However, guys, right now we don't have that evidence yet. We got a lot of bullish signs in the Bitcoin price. It looks like a correction we have seen in a previous bull market. Something like this is possible as well. Like I've mentioned in my previous videos, we finished a ABC correction, and right now we can start with the last wave up, the fifth wave to the upside, which will bring Bitcoin above $100,000. I think this is a nice wave count. So we have a lot of arguments to say that we are actually not in a bear market, and therefore I think that the evidence right now is not strong enough to say that we are in a Bitcoin bear market. Just because we are trading below some key moving averages doesn't tell me yet with that amount of confidence that we are in a bear market. However, if we were to see a bounce and we were to get rejected at some key levels, which means that we are seeing a structured downtrend with lower lows, lower highs, then yes, then we might be in a bear market, and that might tell us that we are in a longer period, that the price has to correct for a longer period of time before we can actually continue that bigger uptrend when we are zooming out in the larger term time frames of Bitcoin. So that is something to take in mind, guys. So are we in a bear market? Well, I don't think we are in a bear market. We don't have that clear evidence yet. It's also important how you define a bear market. If you define a bear market on different indicators, for example, JP Morgan, when the futures price is below the spot price, if you define that as a bear market, okay, I personally wouldn't do that. Because you can miss out quite dramatically on Bitcoin if you use such a superficial indicator to determine a bull or bear market. I wouldn't do that. So I'm really looking to a structured downtrend to say right here that most likely we are in a bear market, and we can see a multi-month downtrend continue. Right now I don't have that evidence, so I will wait and I will check what Bitcoin is going to do. That is my strategy. It is okay to not knowing sometimes. It's okay to tell yourself, like, okay, right now I'm not sure whether Bitcoin is going to enter a bear market because I don't have that clear evidence. But as long as the signals that I'm seeing right now in the chart, Bitcoin is looking bullish right here, most likely wants to see continuation and at least wants to come up and test these important key moving averages. And once we are seeing the reactions in the price later on, we can give a more clearer explanation with more confidence of what is happening with the price of Bitcoin. So that is my opinion on whether Bitcoin is in a bull or in a bear market. Then what do I think is going to happen with altcoins? Well, guys, of course, normally when Bitcoin is starting a rally, the focus is on Bitcoin. So we might see an increase in the Bitcoin dominance. I think we are seeing it right now as well. Actually, I think it is a great time to look for entries in altcoins. Yeah, like we see right here, we are seeing that bounce in the Bitcoin dominance as well. Makes sense because when Bitcoin is bouncing, the attention is on Bitcoin, liquidity is flowing back to Bitcoin. However, guys, once Bitcoin has finished its bounce and is going to move sideways again, and we have a more clearer structure that Bitcoin might have been bottomed, that I think it will be a lot of liquidity will flow back into altcoins, and I think a lot of altcoins will thrive in the Bitcoin comparative, because also we have seen a lot of setups from altcoins actually looking quite bullish. So we might see a last shakeout right here, which can help you fill your entries at some altcoins. If you want to trade them, of course. And yeah, eventually I do think that we are going to see a continuation in the drop of Bitcoin dominance and a continuation of liquidity flowing from the in the general crypto markets to altcoins, something similar like we have seen in 2017 as well, that when the Bitcoin price continued to increase, we as well saw a continuation of a decline in the Bitcoin dominance due to the fact that liquidity flew into altcoins. But okay guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's analysis, guys. If so, do make sure to scroll below this video, hit the thumbs up button, do make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, you can use one of the products that I'm using. I have all my affiliate links down below in the description. If you are interested in that, you can have a look. Then guys, I want to wish every single one of you an awesome day today, and I will see every single one of you in the next video.